My name is Shakieta Maloye, and I am founder and executive director of Another Chance House of Refuge. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we provide transitional housing. We have a transitional housing program where we provide complete wraparound case management services. You come into our facility, expect the unexpected, expect to be supported, expect to be assisted, expect to be held accountable. When coming to Another Chance, you will work with my staff closely. We have our case manager, we have our outreach coordinator, we have our program manager, and we have our administrative assistant.
I'm here with the beautiful Shakieta Maloye, powerhouse founder of Pure Wisdom Life Coaching and Another Chance House of Refuge. Miss Maloye, it is a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for joining me tonight, especially off the heels of the election.
Indeed, indeed, I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So I have my first question is, how long have you been a Charlatan? And tell us about the key points that motivated you to become a change agent for the disenfranchised and the transient residents of Charlotte, North Carolina.
So I've been a charlatan for 25 years. This is home. I'm originally from Florence, South Carolina. But again, Charlotte is home, 25 years. And what makes me a change agent, and what makes me advocate for what it is that I do? I come from the marginalized community, right?
Mhm.
Coming from poverty, navigating these same systems, these same streets here in Charlotte to where I am today, thus led me to really be able to help the community, and not just help the community, but also understand the community because I am my community, and that is where I come from.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, as far as Another Chance House of Refuge, what are some unique attributions that the House of Refuge offers that sets this program apart from traditional shelters?
Accountability.
Okay.
Accountability is one, definitely accountability. Coming off the election, we know that in our country we are an entitled country, or a privileged and entitled country, and so we have a lot of individuals that's just privileged and entitled to a sense, right? And so here at Another Chance, we understand hard work. We understand that you have to do the work, right? Nothing is handed to you. And so that's what sets us apart. Accountability, one, right? Holding, and two, holding space for them, not judging, meeting them where they're at. Me being the founder and the CEO of an organization, me coming from the same community, navigating this very same exact system, I'm sensitive to my people because I understand. And I make sure that my team that surrounds me, they understand, they have a knowing, and they have the heart and the passion for it.
I like that you said you're sensitive to your community. So that, again, a passion, but this is something that's dear to you. And not just the community, like the intransient uh, humans coming from prison. So is that male and female?
Yes, indeed. So again, this is all ancestry. The torch was passed to me. Never in my life did I ever think that I would be doing this in this manner. But being able to understand and overstand, because it was my family, it still is my family. It still is my father that's in the incarceration system. It still is my oldest child that is in the incarceration system. And so I have been that beacon of light and that beacon of hope for my people. And so it's only right that I do it for the community as well.
I love this for us. I do, because I have a nephew who's like, I'm like, you need transitional housing. He's like, well, Auntie Wanda, this is not something I'm wanting to do because that's not for me. So, what do you say for, like, the first thing that you said was accountability, and that sets you apart. So, people coming out and coming into your program, how would they adjust? What is the most important thing that they should do to get that accountability aspect of it?
Structured environment.
Structured environment.
Believe it or not, we as humans, we thrive off structure. We crave structure. It is only when we fall out of line of any type of structured system that things become chaotic and disorganized or dysfunctional. And so even if you're in the prison system or if you're in a mental health institution or even if you're in the educational system, there is still structure. There are still rules in place, and those rules you will follow. And not only will you follow them, if you don't follow them, you have to deal with the consequences. And so, at Another Chance, we provide a structured environment, but most importantly, a loving environment, right? We are a family and we treat you as family. We don't set you apart, we don't make you feel different, we make you feel at home.
Like I said, I love this for us. Now, not because you're
Yeah.
someone who gets it, you know what I'm saying? And you're, a Black woman and you see a need from both ends of the totem. So you opened another Chance House of Refuge in 2019, just ahead of the pandemic. How did the need for residents, assistance, and a safe space change once entering into the pandemic?
So it actually it was a call. It was a calling. And during the pandemic, the greatest need was to be able to hold space and support people, right? And
Right.
so in that space, we were able to hold space and create solutions because that's what it's about. You can hold space for a person all that you want, but if you don't have solutions in place, it's kind of pointless, right? And
Facts.
so we had those solutions in place, whether it was the care packages that we sat on their porch because they were quarantined and they tested positive for COVID, but we left it there for them. And then meeting the need because food insecurity is a real thing, right? And also food waste is a real thing. So
Mm.
providing the community with food, the commonality that we all have, to meet them where they're at, led us to open up our first transitional home, and that allowed us to build that respect, not just the respect, but also being able to understand each other in our organization.
Right. And that integrity that you're true to who you say you are. Now you have 100 unit facility. What does caseloads look like now that word has gotten out about your services?
So we do not have a 100 unit
Oh,
facility yet. We are in the process. We will have it. It's going to take about 2 years because we have to go through renovation, upfitting, and all of those things. Right? It's going to be a unique housing emergency shelter, but it's going to be emergency shelter for families. And
okay.
so we are preparing for that. Thus the reason for our community soiree that we're having on November the 16th, and thus the reason for having these interviews to garner and gain the support to get this facility open so that we can serve more people. But currently we have a caseload of 20. We
20.
serve 15 individuals between our two transitional homes. And then we also support 5 families that's in their own home that we provide rental subsidies for. And then anyone else that comes to us in the community with a need.
Now, Shakita, that is a lot. 20 is a big number. When we talk about people we don't even know that we are trying to change and help transform their lives. And you have other things going on, like you were going to talk about this and we were going to talk about it a little later as well, but tell us about Hope and Harmony Marketplace, which is something subsequent of your transitional housing.
Indeed. So the Hope and Harmony Marketplace, we are preparing. We're going to do a ribbon cutting on that December the 6th. And the Hope and Harmony Marketplace it's a safe haven. It's a safe haven for the marginalized community, but it's also a safe haven and a safe space for individuals and organizations. And so what's unique about our Hope and Harmony Marketplace, it is a give what you can.
Mm.
Right. If you have a need, we have an overflow of things, right? If you have a need, you come in and you give what you can and you get what you need. In additional to that, we're going to be hosting themes on the weekend. One weekend it may be music therapy, another weekend it may be mental health and wellness, another weekend it may be art. But we're going to be highlighting organizations and individuals within the community through our Hope and Harmony Marketplace.
I love it. Now, with all this positive framework that you have going on, do you have space for more people? And have you ever turned an applicant away? How did that make you feel that you could not serve?
It bothers. It definitely bothers on a daily, honestly. And it not just disturbs me, as the leader and the visionary, but it also disturbs my team because we can't serve everyone. And so turning someone away, and we when we turn them away, we turn them away with the reason of, hey, we don't want you to put you in a position. You're not there where you need to be able to successfully sustain and thrive. And we don't want to put you in a situation to where you go backwards and not move forwards. And so
Hmm.
that's what it looks like. I'm not going to, it's not about money, it's not about notoriety, it's not about anything. It's really about creating impact. It's really about changing lives and helping these individuals and family sustain self-sufficiency. And so if you come to us and say, hey, well, I only make $500 a month and our program is 700, I'm not going to bring you in the program whether you're trying to work it out or not. No,
Right,
that's not going to help you. And
right.
so that's that, yeah, that is the difference.
Okay. Now, do you get funding from outside sources? Now you help all races, like you said. How does, this is a weird question, but I'm going to ask, how does the 2024 election challenge what you're trying to do locally?
Whew. First, it don't challenge anything because
Okay.
God is my lead. You understand?
All
God is my
right.
guide. And so regardless of what man they put in space, God is my leader and forefront of everything. And he's gonna always make it work. And so that's I'm not worried about an election or a person in seat, whether it's a man or a woman or a cat or a dog, right? I have a greater power.
Okay, okay, okay.
But that in that election, I will say because I have been following along, I have been in preparation, just in self-reflection within myself and preparing in my own life for my professional life, that what it looks like, what is going to happen with this election, once now that we have that person in the seat, and what's going to change, what does that look like. So that's preparing the people, that is providing
Right,
them with the knowledge, right, providing them with the knowledge and the resources so that they can make sound decisions to protect themselves and prepare themselves for what's to come.
right. That's right. Now, is funding necessary even more so now?
Yes, funding is so our funders, first and foremost, we are a revenue generating organization. We charge way below market rate for individuals to live in our housing programs, and
Mhm.
we provide all of the services and the clinical social worker to along with that fee. Additional to that, we are able to provide rental subsidies because we had United Way to come in and fund us to where, if someone had fell on a hard time, then hey, you can excuse your rent this month. That's a rental subsidy, or you can pay what you can and we'll subsidize the rest. And then also we just formed a partnership with Foundation for the Carolinas, July the 1 this year. And so they came in and supported us to provide rental subsidies as well. Because believe it or not, even prior to this election, everyone knows that our entire country is battling a housing crisis. And
Right.
so everyone is pretty much one or two paychecks away from being homeless within
Okay.
themselves, right? And so being able to meet a person where I provide those rental subsidies, give them that leeway until they can get to better, until the better opportunities come, then we stand in the gap for them. So our funding is very, very important because even prior to this election, people were having it hard, and it's just going to get harder.
I'm telling you. Now, tell us about, now we're here. Tell us about your fifth anniversary soiree on November 1st.
So November the 16th, we got 10 days.
I'm talking about
10
November
days
1st.
in the
Lord,
death.
the offense. Sleep TV.
Listen, time is waiting on no one. Don't blame the
Okay.
mind. Listen, little heart. Listen, it's moving that fast.
It's moving
Um,
fast.
but November the 16th, 10 days away, we are having our 5-year community celebration. A lot of nonprofits just in the country do not make it to 5 years. And so we have successfully made it to 5 years, and we are a successful, sustainable organization that is making impact. And so we want to celebrate that. We want to celebrate that, but we're doing it in a different light. We're not, because I'm about community. It's not about me. I'm just a vessel, right? It's about holding that torch for the next person that's standing beside us, in front of us, or the one that's coming behind us. Is being able to hold space. And so we're honoring 5 organizations and the great work that they're doing here in the community. And we're just going to share the impact of what's happening in the community. Not necessarily another chance. Another chance speaks for itself. The work speaks for itself. We want to highlight people. We want to highlight our community.
I think it speaks for itself, just like you said, to be able to keep this going for 5 years or 5+ years, looking into the future with 100 rooms. That is amazing. I just love what you're doing and what you answering the call. Let's say that. So you answered the call. Now, how can viewers follow you and assist with essential needs for your program?
So they can visit our website. It is www.anotherchance, for Charlotte.org. Visit the website. They can volunteer. They can become a board member, and then they can also even give donations to our clients or the individuals that we serve. We have a community pantry and a community closet and a community garden, and so whatever it is that's given to us, we take it, turn it around, and give it back to the community.
So I have one more question or two more maybe. How did this election ignite? You're already a powerhouse. You were that before this election. How did it ignite your Black girl magic?
I just left Washington, D.C. at a church conference. I was at a church conference from Thursday to Sunday, and that church conference was prior to the election, and it gave me that fire to continue to know and understand that I'm needed now more than ever.
Right.
Right. And so being able to see the impact, it's about the impact. It's about the individuals that walk into our office and say, hey, because of another chance, I was able to get housing. I was able to come out of my car, or I was able to come out of incarceration, or
Okay.
I was able to come out of a mental health institution because of another chance. I have successfully sustained my life. And that's the fire that it has given me before the election, during the election, and after the election.
I love it. Now we know that you're going to do the 100 units. 2 years come quick, just like November 1st. We're almost November 16th. So 100 units is what we're looking at. But globally, where do we see yourself in the next 5 years?
Globally, it is teaching. It is
Mhm.
teaching what it is that we have successfully done. It is passing the torch to other individuals around the country and around the world. And so we've already started just making that impact around the country. And we're going to go out in the world because housing is a crisis that's around our world and not just in our nation.
Right. Facts. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So, with that in mind, how can people get tickets to the soiree?
They can go to Eventbrite. It's on Eventbrite, or they can come by our office. Our office is 3325 Washburn Avenue, right behind Bojangles Coliseum. We are, however you want to come in. If you want to pay the day when you come, you can do that too. We'll have our guest registration table for individuals to pay at the table if they like.
Okay, cool beans. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we'll see you at the event, not on the
Thank you.
first.
Thank you. Dang.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for having me.
You're welcome, Queen.